Hi, my name is Julian Craemer, and I'm the founder and CEO of Uptain. And with Uptain, we try to help you to get more customers and thus more revenue. And we help you by providing services in customer engagement. We have identified two major problems for online shops. The first problem is that most people come to the website but do not convert. They do not purchase. So up to 98% or more do not purchase, but visit your page only. The second big problem is that people that purchase once do not become repeatable customers. And we at Uptain have identified 3 products to help you fight those 2 major problems. The first product is called Activation Popups. And with those exit intents, we identify if a user is about to leave the website, and we display those pop-ups to help convert those people in that situation. The second products are newsletter pop-ups or newsletter layers or slide-ins. Those are displayed to generate new newsletter subscribers or generate new double opt-ins, so that you have email addresses that you can use for marketing. The third product is called trigger mails. And with those, we have certain triggers, for example, the shopping cart abandonment. And we can send emails to those kind of users after they have left the website. All products by Uptain are fueled by the uptain algorithm. This is a system of different heuristics and algorithms and AI that it determines, based on the user's profile and their behavior, what kind of communication needs to be shown to what kind of user in what situation. So for example, we identify a user based on the device they use, for example, Apple device or an Android device, and Android users are mostly more price sensitive than Apple users. But we identify also the tech savviness. So for example, if somebody is not using the pre-installed browsers such as Safari or Internet Explorer or Edge, they are more tech savvy, so they install Mozilla, Firefox, Opera, or they might be even using Unix or Linux. So we also combine that with data of the referrers. For example, if somebody is coming from TikTok, they are much younger people than coming from Facebook nowadays. And people coming from price comparison websites are more price sensitive than people coming from your own newsletter. So we combine all those different data points and find the perfect communication for that user that is currently on the website and is about to leave the website or has already left the website. And we combine this data from your shop, with all their shops and all our customers that we already have. And we achieve that by having the same kind of template across all shops that we can continuously A/B test. So we have the possibility to improve every day and every hour and be more specific about the users and what to show them in what situation. So the uptain algorithm at the end makes it very performant to regain lost customers and increase the conversion rate. At the end, that means that different people get different kind of messages. So one person, for example, might receive a 10% voucher code, while another person receives a telephone service pop-up to help that person in that situation. The uptain algorithm will optimize everything that you allow it to do. So you have the control and you set like a border around the options or the possibilities of that algorithm. So you decide the corporate identity, the fonts, the colors, the tonality, what the user or the users should be spoken to or can be spoken to. And at the same time, you also define certain criteria. For example, what kind of voucher codes can be shown to what kind of user. So 10% voucher code only for existing customers or only for new customers. And you can also set up those kind of information like the hotline availability. So as you probably know, it doesn't make sense to show a telephone pop-up during the night when nobody is going to answer your telephone or your hotline. So those kind of settings you set around the uptain algorithm, and within that option, the algorithm will always decide what is the best option to show that user and help you optimize the conversion. The activation pop-ups are shown if a user is identified to be about to leave the website. And we have certain triggers for mobile and for desktop to identify that behavior. So for example, we identify the mouse movement towards the upper right corner on a Windows device and the upper left corner on a Mac device. We also identify the tab changes or the back button. So we follow the history of the user. So if they come from Google to the first page and then to the category page and then to the product page, they go back from product to category, nothing happens. Back from category to the starting page, nothing happens. Starting page back to Google, before they can reach Google, we show a pop-up in that situation. And that works also on mobile devices, but here the gestures can also be taken care of in the software and hardware buttons. The tab changes and the app changes between the website or the browser and, for example, WhatsApp also work on mobile devices. After that user is identified to be about to leave the website, certain different pop-ups are shown depending on the behavior and the user, but of course in the corporate identity and in the coloring in your sense. Those pop-ups that are shown afterwards are blocked so that the users are not getting annoyed by pop-ups. So they are blocked for 24 hours every pop-up and for 7 days that certain kind of pop-up. The next product is called newsletter pop-ups or newsletter forms. For newsletter forms, we identify if a user is on the website and shows engagement or engages with the website and shows interest. And that works on mobile and on desktop. And after we've identified that a user has shown interest or is interested in signing up for a newsletter, then we differentiate again using the uptain algorithm whether that user needs some kind of fear of missing out or FOMO incentive, or they are the kind of person who will subscribe only if they get some kind of voucher code. For example, 10% voucher code if you subscribe to the newsletter. So the upturn algorithm decides between those different incentives and then shows the user what is more likely to convert that user into a newsletter subscriber. After the user has entered the email address, so the first part is only a minimized version of that layer, people can click on that and enter the email address. Then the double opt-in email process is started. They receive an email, and in that email, they can click on a double opt-in link. They come back to the website, and they might be seeing the voucher code if they return. Or they can add additional information during that process, for example, the gender, the name, first name, last name, etc. Newly generated newsletter subscribers are synchronized also via integrations and API connections to certain newsletter tools. And you can, even if you're not using one of those tools, you can always export a CSV file and import that CSV file into your system. And when there is an integration or an API connection from Uptain to your newsletter system, you also have the advantage that we compare the email addresses with that existing database and do not show layers if it's not necessary. So if somebody is already subscribed to the newsletter, we will not show that layer again to that user. Trigger mails is about the emails that are sent to users based on certain behavior. So that behavior could, for example, be the typical shopping cart abandonment. So people put something in the shopping cart but do not purchase and leave the website. After they have left the website, we wait for a certain time, for example, 45 minutes, and then we will send that user a certain email to get that customer back. The second trigger is a so-called comeback or long time no see trigger. So in this case, somebody did purchase, but this was a long time ago. So for example, 2 or 3 months. And we kind of remind that user to come back to the shop and purchase again. The third trigger is the browse abandonment trigger. So in this case, the user was on the website, did browse through, maybe searched something, but did not find what they were looking for. So in that case, we remind that user after a couple of days to come back to the shop and find what they were looking for. All of those templates that are sent for the certain triggers are again specified or segmented based on the user profiles. So somebody, a young person that is price sensitive, for example, might receive an email, very colloquial, "Hi Noah, you get a 5% voucher code here, come back." while another person is, for example, dear Mrs. X, please be aware that you might be calling, you can call us under the certain telephone number or something like that. So a different kind of approach for different kind of users. And that applies to all the different kind of triggers. So for shopping cart abandonment, for browser abandonment, and for comeback. All of those mails are sent to the users directly from your email address. So if they answer, you might be receiving some quality feedback. And at the same time, we make sure that users are not annoyed by blocking email addresses for 30 days. All of those email templates are translated in certain languages, so to make sure that every user receives the communication that is suitable for that person. We are a European company and thus do apply, of course, with GDPR. You can only send emails to users that have either subscribed or are existing customers, depending on the law of your country. We are kind of a data processing service provider for you, and you will have a certain contract for that within the login area automatically. And to make sure that the integration helps you, we will provide you also with exemplary data policy text and the cookie tables, etc. If you have any questions regarding data policies or GDPR, please get back to us. The transparency is very important for us, so that you can really understand every day and every time what we're doing for you and where and how. So you have tables and graphs in the login area where you can really identify which user was regained, which user was contacted, the email addresses, the order numbers, used voucher codes, etc. And you can combine that information with, and you can push events to Matomo Pivik or, for example, Google Analytics for other tracking systems. And you have the possibility to receive a monthly PDF that gives you a quick summary on one page. At Uptain, you only pay if we successfully help you regain lost customers or help you to get more revenue or new subscribers. So at the end, you only pay if we help you achieve something. So we provide value to you, and at that moment you pay only if that works. And no contract time. So you can always cancel anytime, and the pricing is a commission fee based on the additional revenue, and that depends on your unique visitors per month, the industry of your shop, and the average shopping cart value. After a couple of weeks or months, you can also get in contact with us, and we can talk about a flat fee or a fixed price per month or a contract time that might reduce your commission fee a little. Feel free to get in touch with us if you want to talk about that pricing. To start with Uptain, it's very easy. You only need 3 steps. The first step is to install the plugin. So you go to the shop system, for example, Shopify, Shopware, Magento, Oxid, etc. And you install that plugin. It's always a free plugin into your shop system. Within the configuration of that plugin, you will have to enter an ID, and that ID or the token that you can get from our login area. So you need, and that's the second step, to register an account with us on uptain.de/en, and you can register your account by using your email address. And once you have set up your account there and you've entered your billing data and have accepted the payment pricing that we talked about before, you will receive in the integrations tab of that navigation a token or Uptain ID. You can enter this ID into the plugin, and now you have combined the system of Uptain with your shop system. Now the only step that is missing is the setup or the configuration of the tool. For that purpose, you will need to go into the login area and use the Start with Uptain or questionnaire area, where you can start with an easy questionnaire, enter all the details and answer a couple of questions. And after about 30 minutes, you're ready to go and Uptain can go live.